You're listening to PlayStation Unchained.
Hello, and welcome to PlayStation Unchained, episode 88. Yes, I think that's two fat ladies in bingo terms. That's, well, I don't know how that was at all relevant. Let's go on. I'm joined by an almost full house today. You can literally not move. The podcast room is so small, and there are so many people in it. One of those people is the pillar eternal of the podcast, the stopper of end times, if you will, Mr. Ben Shillabeer-Hall. How are you, Ben?
I'm not too bad. To be honest, I'd probably cover half the room with my unique size.
Unique size. Well, apparently not according to cameras. They don't pick you up, do they? So,
cameras don't think I exist, though.
So, yeah, you could just be existing on a different plane to the rest of us.
Maybe, well, you know, I am flawless. I'm never wrong. It does make sense that I do ascend beyond humanity.
You are ethereal, yeah. Yeah, it does make sense. So you had a good week?
Yeah, either that or I'm a vampire. Yeah, but yeah, I had a good week.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I got my first platinum.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
No surprise as to what it was.
Yeah, Goat Stimulator.
Goat Stimulator. That's a whole different game. That's we don't want to go there.
No, we don't.
Currently not abusing farmyard animals. Oh god. Yeah, before we even start this podcast, we've just had non-stop laughter for some.
Yeah, we spent the last half an hour laughing.
Yeah, and getting composure back is just not quite coming. So I'll try that again and try and sound somewhat professional.
And by the way, we're not high, in case anyone emails us saying don't smoke then.
It's just incredibly humid. I think it's setting everyone a little delirious. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, currently not abusing farm animals in the sunny land of Belgium is Kevin Rombouts. How are you, Kevin?
Nearly. I'm fine. Thanks. Yeah. How are you?
Yeah. You've been making a pool or around a pool today?
No. We were just changing some pipes outside.
Ah, having a dig.
A lot. I'm glad I'm inside resting.
I bet. You had a good week?
Sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Yeah, we'll go with that. And joining us live via satellite phone thing is Garri Bagdasarov, all the way from the US. How you doing, Garri?
Very good, Neil. Very good.
Fantastic.
We're able to pronounce my name there.
Well, yeah, see, I've had more practice for yours. Kevin's is just like, I want to keep saying rowboat, and it doesn't quite come out right.
Ooh, that's as
I'm pretty much an alien to Neil. For me, it's just like Kevin Rombouts, but for him, it's Kevin Rombouts. So
yeah, because I literally know like 3 Belgians, and 2 of them are football players, so, and the other one's fictional character. So, oh no, that's 4 because Poirot. So,
yeah, I'm the fictional character.
Kevin is Poirot. So, you should see the moustache. Yeah, go for it, Garri. Sorry.
I'm a little half and half right now.
A little half and half. What, drunk or happy or sad?
Half good, half bad.
Yeah, not too bad then. One of those sort of weeks, is it?
Mostly just today. You know, bad news, good news, bad news, good news. Yeah, like bad news. My Witcher 3. Yay!
That is not right.
Sega was not planning on releasing Phantasy Star Online 2 in North America.
Yeah, I just seen that. That's literally come up recently since we started the podcast. And it's rather unfortunate.
Even though the game is completely translated into English by now. All of it, they've even said it. They released it in China. The English version they released in China.
Which is just, it's ridiculous. There's no doubt about that.
They announced it's coming to North America in 2012, and here we are. With no information since that.
Oh, Sega. But then, as we discussed in recent weeks, you can kind of see why with Sega. They're just a bit too apprehensive. Yeah. Oh well. But let's get on to some news that isn't so bad, perhaps, and take our minds off such terrible things in gaming, because stuff's starting to happen in the world of gaming. The summer is almost over. Games are coming out the wazoo from next week. But it's a long-standing series that starts us off. The Grand Theft Auto series has now reached 220 million units sold as a series, which is gosh damn amazing. And just quite coincidentally this week, the PS4 version of GTA 5 will get the Rockstar editor in the next patch, which is basically the video editing software for the game. So yes, good all round for Rockstar there. And also had the news that Red Dead Redemption sold 14 million copies. So it's the main question, I suppose, that comes out of this is, other than great news about GTA's sales over the years, but Red Dead Redemption, surely a sequel's got to be on the way at some point with that many sold. Go for Garri.
A sequel definitely should be coming on the way. At least I hope it is. I know Red Dead Redemption was a surprise hit for Rockstar. They weren't expecting to make as much money on that game as they actually did. Hopefully a sequel will be coming. I don't know if it's still going to be in the Wild West, but you never know. I personally want a new Max Payne. That's all I want from Rockstar. But
yeah, that's it. I'd quite like another one. I think someone was saying it recently. It's like, of all the games that have been remastered, that's one that you'd think would be a shoe-in. Considering,
I love all three of the Max Paynes. I think Max Payne 3 was one of the most underrated games of last gen.
It was, and the soundtrack.
So great. So
just such a good soundtrack for that. But good sales for GTA 5. Well, GTA in general, I should say. That one.
As a series, it's phenomenal, especially seeing where it came from. With the top down.
Yeah.
For the first two, and then here comes the third one out of nowhere, and it's this massive open world game that's never been done at that time before. So yeah, good on them. Especially, they always say controversy makes money, and that game made all its money on the controversy of that franchise.
Yeah. I mean, you see every week now, nearly every week, that GTA 5 is still in the charts, around the
top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, usually around the top 5 for most of the weeks, and it's got to be down to the fact that online has actually taken off quite well. I think, despite
now that it's actually working. Yeah,
and the fact that for nearly 2 years now they've just provided free content and stuff consistently. I think it's just contributing so well. It just shows if you keep providing stuff for your game without charging it, you can make some money out of it. It is a winning formula. I'm sure we'll talk about something similar quite in a bit. Ben, what about you? I know you're not the greatest fan of Grand Theft Auto, but what about Red Dead?
I'm not a big fan of Red Dead either, to be honest. But
what is wrong with you?
I would like another Max Payne.
Yeah.
Not like the new Max Payne, though. I didn't like it that much.
Seriously, can we get Ben off the podcast?
I'll edit his voice out.
I prefer the older Max Paynes to the new one.
I don't know. I didn't like the first one.
Actually, I loved the first and second one. I didn't like the new one.
Oh well, that's you. Yeah.
It gave me headaches.
It gave you headaches?
Yeah, the whole different changing colours, the weird other stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to match drinks and painkillers every time you were playing. So.
Yeah, every time we had to take a painkiller, obviously I was going to take one, so, realism.
No one cause of death in America in 2013. You were playing Max Payne, realistically. They weren't getting killed by the gunshots. It was the trying to go slow-mo through a window. And I suppose we should ask Kevin what he thinks about all this. Go on, Kevin.
Well, I don't know. Grand Theft Auto 5, I'm not surprised it's still that high up in the ranks. It is a pretty good game, and it's one of the most known series in gaming, I think. So that's not a big surprise. Can't say much about Red Dead, though. Haven't played it. Haha, my trademark. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing actually like a sequel. It would make me like interest. I can't even talk anymore. So yeah, a sequel would be interesting because I would feel interested in it and then check out the first one. Maybe they'll even bring it to PlayStation 4. Who knows? A remaster.
We don't want to go annoying the PC fans again with that, because then they'd be saying, well, where's the PC version that we never
This
saw?
is not a PC podcast. As a PC gamer, I said that.
But yeah, I mean, if Rockstar were to do that and make a next-gen version, and if they didn't then make a PC version, well, the fuss they cause about GTA 5 will tell you all you need to know on that one.
Quite honestly, I'd rather them do something brand new, because all they've done is sequel after sequel after sequel to everything. They haven't done a new franchise game since, what is it, PS2?
Oh, no, because LA Noire was new.
They only published that game. They didn't develop it.
They now hold the assets for it, don't they? So technically it's theirs. But it's like Max Payne wasn't really properly theirs, was it? So,
no, but they did develop Max Payne 3 in-house.
Well, we need some new Lemmings, really. Yeah. And that's
quite honestly, I would like to see them do something brand new.
Wait, Lemmings? Did you say Lemmings GTA? That'd be amazing.
DMA, who used to be the company before Rockstar, made Lemmings, or published Lemmings, I should say. So,
yeah, I want Lemmings GTA now, where it's just
Lemmings in GTA.
I just want LA Noire 2.
No, it's not going to happen because the company got shit canned, basically. So.
Sadly enough, because I don't know, I enjoyed that game a lot. It was good.
Well, yeah, the company that were going to make it, the next game we're going to make a game called Horror of the Orient, and that disappeared along with all that. So, yeah, it probably won't be any of those parties involved.
A new table tennis game.
New table. That was just so weird and out there that came out like that. It's just like Microsoft said, "Here, we'll give you a bunch of money, make us an exclusive game," and they were like, "Table tennis." There you go.
It used the GTA physics engine as well.
Yeah, and you know what? It was a good table tennis game. That's the stupid thing, but yeah, madness.
Yeah, I mean, they still re-trademarked Agent again, so maybe we'll find.
Yeah, is that Manhunt? I'd like to see Manhunt. That wasn't Manhunt.
Yes.
Oh, I don't think we'll see that again.
That game was way more controversial than GTA ever was.
Yeah, and you know what? It was stupid that it was. The first one especially, because I can understand the second one because, you know, it was violent for the sake of being violent, whereas the first one was, this guy, he may or may not have committed this crime, and he's pretty much forced through this, you know, maze of things to do against his will in order for his family not to get killed off.
Yeah, especially
sounds like a more violent A-team game.
Yeah, but it's like in the second game, it's just like, yeah, you're just nuts, so you can go stabbing people in the face. It's all right. But there was no rhyme or reason behind it. That's why I still think it's just a terrible sequel.
Yeah, I was really impressed when they used like the headset for that game as well. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one of the most underrated bits of headset use since, before Binary Domain, I should say. But it was really good. So, let's move on to see. There you go. First story out the block, and we've taken about 10 minutes to get through it. We're keeping up to the standard. Hopefully, it won't be a 2-hour podcast this week. But we're having fun. That's all the problem is. We, of course, have been talking about Capcom last week remaking Resident Evil 2. One of the most joyous things ever. Or not, as I said at the time. Capcom, of course, then went and requested that the Resident Evil 2 Reborn fan remake would stop being made, if you will. It was bound to happen, obviously, once they started making Resident Evil 2 remake. It was Invader Games had started making like an upgraded version of Resident Evil 2 for years, and that's pretty much what started getting the attention from Capcom and rolling the ball towards making this actual remake. But of course now, quite nicely, they've sort of said, hey, you know, it's no biggie, but we are now making the game, so you don't need to do it. And, it was a nice way to. You get companies all the time just sort of make this sort of, well, we don't want you messing with our game, get out of it. It's like they were at least a bit more gracious and were happy with what they did and were proud of the achievements they've made and trying to upgrade the game and keep fan attention on the series. So we won't really take comments on this one, I think, because it's just standard stuff. But next we'll go on to what I was mentioning before about
I got a quick comment.
Oh, go on, have a quick comment.
Now start remaking Resident Evil 3.
Let's
a fan remake of Resident Evil 3, and then Capcom will go, oh look, people want that, so we'll do that.
Yeah.
Just stop there though, don't do 4 because we have enough 4s.
No, just Code Veronica.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
So just keep remaking games, just so Capcom will then remake them.
But not Operation Raccoon City, of course.
Just remake that and call it the Dane edition.
There you go. That's our weekly Operation Raccoon City joke.
Resident Evil Operation Dane.
Operation Dane. Just get Dane as a character.
Wow. You guys hate so much.
Dane loadable content.
I really wouldn't. It's going to be the same when we do a Metal Gear podcast. And I thought it was going to be about Metal Gear 2. I'm just going on about how great it is when so many people don't like it.
Dane loadable content.
Dane loadable content. Anyway, moving on. I was going on about GTA 5's free DLC over the time, making a big impact on sales and critical reception. The Witcher 3 is another game that obviously had the same, where they've had a lot of free DLC come out and months after and they've developers come out from Witcher 3 and said that the free DLC they offer should be industry standard, which is like, well, duh, of course it should be, but the way the market's set up, it's not going to be. Could any of you think of a way that other companies might actually even bother trying to do this? I'm talking, the big companies here, like your EAs and your Ubisofts, your Activision. Could they offer more for free?
Technically, EA does it with Plants vs Zombies. We got a lot of free combat. We got a load of maps, didn't we? They did it with Mass Effect as well, than Dragon Age. Mass Effect, you got all the multiplayer maps for free and extra characters and weapons.
So maybe it's just the way that they've done it that's the problem. Different companies. If companies don't come straight out and say the first thing is, "Oh, you're going to get all this stuff for free," and then mention, but there will be paid DLC as well. Whereas your EAs and that tend to just say, "This is the season pass. This is the DLC you can buy. Oh, and there'll be some free stuff if you buy all that." So maybe that's the problem on that one.
I think the main issue is people seem to expect more for free than they. I mean, I'm not going to insult Witcher 3, but the free content was very minimal.
It was, but then it was in a game that was already quite apparently finished in the way it was. It's a huge game. Yeah. There's lots to do in it already. Adding stuff is nice. It's when your game feels like they've taken something out here, and then they charge you for something that you think, this probably should have been in the game. And I think it's got to the point now where a lot of people can't see the difference between what is actually DLC and what isn't. Yeah. It's just stuff that they've lumped off.
I think the biggest problem is when they announce DLC the same day they announce a game.
Yeah, because then it's just like, well, we know it's there.
Yeah, to me, I'm sitting here, it's like, wow, so you're telling me there's going to be extra content, and you're telling me that you don't want to take the time to put it into the game. You want to charge me for it instead.
Yeah. I mean, going back to Grand Theft Auto 5, they've still not done paid DLC, and that's one of the first things they said. They'll do paid DLC at some point. But 2 years on, not here because they're doing all right without it. But then, again, it comes back to that, and probably with The Witcher 3, they've invested their time in making the game. They haven't just gone, well, you've got X amount of time to make this game, and if it's not out by then, well, you've just got to ship it as it is. And it just makes you wonder about certain companies that they're getting a lot of money in anyway. couldn't they be a little more frugal and just say, hey, it's fine. We're not going for major sales figures here. Just we'll give you the time to make the game you want to make, and hopefully it's good. It's like they have no confidence in the people making their games, but then is that because they're butting in? It's hard to say with that. Kevin, you got anything to say on all this? Kevin's died.
Oh no! We killed.
I forgot to unmute my mic. Good job, me. So basically what I was saying is all I hope is to see expansion packs more and more instead of DLC again. Because DLC is just way too little content for the price it is, and expansion packs were just like a solid price for a solid amount of content, and that was good. And that's what I want.
Yeah, I mean,
or
make
it worth the price. Like, a stupid example maybe, but like for instance, Bioshock Infinite had these 2 episodes, Burial at Sea, and I don't know, they were pretty good. At least I thought they were. And that's not just coming from a Bioshock fan. But yeah, I mean, if you look at it, if you make it worth the price, I don't mind. But if you look, for instance, at Call of Duty, buy a skin, 99 cents. Everything you want is like a stupid price just because people want customization. Just bring out one big pack with customizational options or whatever you can think of. And, make it a decent price, but don't ask for a stupid price per item. That's just... I gotta keep it nice. That's just wrong.
It's wrong. Stupid. Basically saying it.
That's saying it clean. Yeah, that's wrong.
That's wrong, man. It's wrong. You should not be doing that.
DLC are bad, guy.
Ah, dear. Anyway, yes, so, as we said, you want to do it right, make it expansion packs. Maybe lead with what stuff you're doing for free instead of just going, hey, here's all the stuff you have to buy on top of the game. It's like, you don't have to, but we're going to make it sound like you should. So we'll move on from that story. Quick one here. Sony, of course, after last week announced that they'd have their now annual PlayStation experience in San Francisco this year. But they also confirmed this week that Paris Games Week, they've got their press conference sorted. Yes, so on October 27th at 5 p.m. British Standard Time, they will be holding their conference. And so the question to that is, one game you think will be the big thing they'll show off, and I'll go around you each to do it. So we'll start with Kevin. What do you think they'll show at Paris Games Week that will be big and wow people?
That's actually a good question, because I don't really feel they're going to show anything big. I just feel they're going to come out with content or trailers or gameplay or stuff, or more information about certain games that the fans have really been waiting for. For instance, Uncharted 4. Maybe there's some more gameplay about that, I guess. But I don't really expect there to be anything big like, oh my god, here's God of War 4. No, I don't see that happen.
Oh, okay.
I'll probably be wrong. That's usually how it is, but
it's better to be wrong and pleasantly surprised. That's the way I see it.
True.
Garri, what do you think? Anything surprising coming in Paris?
I think I'm going to go with Kevin on this one. I don't think they're going to announce anything new. Well, no, I'm wrong. They might... If they announce a new game, it'll probably be the new game from Quantic Dream. It's the only one that I could see them announcing. I think Last Guardian will probably be huge at Tokyo Game Show. They'll probably save that game for that.
Definitely.
Everything else, honestly, they'll probably show off some more features of the Nathan Drake collection, photo mode and all the changes they're doing to that. We'll probably see... Maybe we'll see a little more of Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm not expecting anything huge.
I think it's supposed to be at Tokyo Game Show as well, isn't it? Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
So
I'm expecting more announcements from Tokyo Game Show than Paris Game Show, quite honestly, because Paris Game Show isn't very huge, so I don't really see.
But then I think they've deliberately chosen it, and that's why they say they didn't go to Gamescom, because they were going here, and this is where they wanted to show stuff. Like they wanted to be away from Microsoft and go, oh, we're going to do our own thing.
I think this game show for them will be the perfect time to talk and show off more of the Morpheus.
Yeah.
They didn't do much with E3 with it at all, and I think this game show will be the perfect time to do it, because then in December you can show off, the new games you're working on and all the big stuff there.
Now, a theory that's gone around about that is that at Paris Games Week, that if they do Morpheus, they'll also announce that No Man's Sky will be a launch title, and that's one of the things you'll get to see in December. You reckon that's any chance?
Yeah, definitely. I reckon that. I think that'll be the game that they use as a demonstration, actually.
Yeah.
For Morpheus at the game show there.
Because as I said before, they got this whole weird, mysterious thing about the release date. So, we'd like to tell you, but we can't because of things out of our control. It does seem like they're sort of going for VR, especially with the PC announcement back at E3.
Yeah, so that's what I'm expecting. Morpheus, a lot of information of Morpheus. I don't know about pricing yet. I don't think they'll announce the pricing for it just yet. That and probably PlayStation Now and the UK market, because is it fully live in the UK or is it still in beta?
Just beta still.
No, it's fully live, I think, because my mate's got
Yeah,
all
but
this
we haven't
store.
got subs yet. We haven't got subs yet, though.
No, we haven't got subs.
Yeah, so they'll probably announce all that stuff there too.
Oh, that would be
for
killer.
me.
If they could name that before the end of the year, I think that would be a good thing, especially if it's a good price.
I have to agree on Garri about the Nathan Drake collection, because a recent article, I remember that they said there's still stuff that we changed that were not told about us, that weren't told to us yet, but they will share them later on. So I think maybe we'll see some more information about that.
Perhaps.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Special edition, please.
Well, there's already a special edition, isn't there?
But then,
Yeah, but I want a better one.
having said that, it's October 27th, so technically the game should be out at that point.
Yeah, but this is Sony and Europe. They won't care. They'll still have gameplay.
I do wonder, actually, going back to Morpheus, you meant that this week it got mentioned that Ark, the dinosaur-based survival game on PC, is coming to PS4 in June next year. That kind of sounds like
Project Morpheus.
Yeah. So yeah, that could be the release date is June. It will come out then.
I am going to say something right now, though. I am very confident that at the Tokyo Game Show, we will finally see Tekken versus Street Fighter from the Tekken team.
Yeah, it's been a while since
They say it's very far along in development, so I'm just going to call that out right now. And maybe Tekken 7 release date for consoles. Well, not a release date, but announcement.
Yeah, something like that. Because they've got Street Fighter in December, so it'd be kind of cool to sort of have a beat 'em up each time that's different. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad we got that all sorted. Ben, did you have any extra predictions to make?
No, I was going to mention Quantic Dream, with them coming up with David Cage coming up and talking about his emotions and how more polygons means more emotions and stuff.
Wow. Imagine get him and Guillermo up on stage at the same time. It'd just be a wash with French whimsy.
All I know is that the event I'm going to next month will have the Vive, the HTC VR,
yeah, that's right.
The whatchamacallit other thing will be playable. So I'm annoyed that the whatchamacallit isn't there. Curse you! The Morpheus.
Yes.
Whatchamacallit? That's its new name. That's it. It's called Project Morpheus, but the real name is called the whatchamacallit. That's what it's released as.
Right, a couple more stories. Not great big ones. Rainbow Six Siege got delayed to December, which Ubisoft seemed to like doing that with one game a year. They delayed it till December. Last year it was The Crew, which was supposed to come out, I think, September, and they suddenly going out of nowhere. Oh, actually, no, December, straight off. And yeah, lo and behold, it's happened again. It was supposed to come out October 13th originally, and they're basically saying that it wasn't an easy decision, but based on the feedback we've received and based on our own internal tests, we felt there are adjustments and improvements we can make, including improving the co-op experience across all game modes, weapon and gadget balancing, as well as menu and interface navigation. We're taking a little more time to make these changes, and we think that's the right call. That's the surprising, but it seems to be the way of Ubisoft post Assassin's Creed Unity. That, we're going to take our time with everything and be careful. So, but do you think they'll really improve the game, Garri?
No.
Straight out like that.
The number one thing they need to be worried about right now, and probably throwing more money in, is servers. Because that game is not going to work on day one. No. It's just not. It's going to crash all the time. Well, maybe not crash. People would just not be able to get in and play with each other because they won't have enough servers. And they'll release a statement, we weren't anticipating the success of this game. And all the same stupid crap. But
call me cynical, but I think they're doing it to avoid a lot of the other games out there. And they suddenly realise, hang on, we've already got a game coming out that month. Maybe we might want to move. They're not one of them.
They know that Rainbow Six Siege is going to sell more than Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they know that. People have been waiting for a new Rainbow Six for a very long time.
It could well sell very well. It's just, I think putting it next to Assassin's Creed is probably a bit of a death wish, especially if there is a lot of negative feedback about Syndicate.
Like there has been. We haven't heard much of anything about Syndicate since its reveal.
I think because everyone's very underwhelmed after last year. That was like the final straw for a lot of people, both in the industry and out. It did a job, and people are like, well, I don't care anymore, one way or the other. I don't hate it, I don't love it. It's off my radar. I think that's why you don't see it covered quite the same way. Yeah. Or maybe it's just got to the stage where now it is like stuff like Call of Duty, where you see news of it, you can't remember if you're seeing news of the current game, the last game, the game before that,
or the next game you see.
Yeah, it could be. They could have shown us the next 10 Assassin's Creed, and we just didn't realise.
Yeah, that's why I said I love the time period, but if it was in that time period 3 years ago, it would have been much better.
Goes up against Hitman, I believe, doesn't it? At that point. Which,
Hitman and Just Cause 3.
Yeah, so it's that's going to be interesting. Right, so who else we got to talk to? Ben. Right,
Words.
Words, they are a thing that we say on this podcast. And but what words would you use in a sentence or two, or maybe a paragraph, to sort of sum up how you feel about Rainbow Six Siege being delayed? Do you care?
I would say it's to be delayed for polish, but I really doubt it.
At this stage.
So I don't know. It's just because there's so many games coming out in November.
I'd say.
Who wants to compete with Assassin's Creed, the Fallouts?
They made that mistake last year, I think, with Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, placing them so close together, just sort of drowned each other out, especially with what happened,
Yeah. As I said, you got Assassin's Creed, Fallout, Call of Duties. There's got to be something else in November as well.
Halo 5.
There you go, the Halos.
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raiders.
Well, Tomb Raider is already releasing on failure alone.
Yeah, so...
releasing the same day as Fallout 4 is suicide.
Yeah.
On one console. Yeah. I would honestly be interested to see the figures that week. What sold more? PS4 copies of Fallout or Xbox copies of Tomb Raider? Yeah. Yeah, not even counting the Microsoft copies and the PC copies of Fallout. I honestly do think that Fallout might sell more copies. And that would just be a bit embarrassing. Not that Microsoft let you know the figures. But, yeah. And Kevin, surprised?
Yes. No.
No? As ever, the king of short, sharp statements.
Well...
Are you looking forward to it, though?
You're still talking about Rainbow Six, right?
No, we stopped ages ago. We're now talking about Goat Simulator again.
Oh, okay. No.
Really, I'm talking about Rainbow Six.
No, about Rainbow Six, I'm actually curious. I've never played any Rainbow Six games so far, but when I saw the footage of this one, I was kind of interested, mostly because of the co-op. Because personally, I feel there's not that much proper co-op games out there. The last one I really enjoyed was Dying Light. And I feel like this one actually gives you that teamwork feeling that you have to work together to get a proper playthrough. So I definitely am interested in this one. I don't really care that much if they delay it, unless it's like 3 years, but, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's nothing really.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not that we're gonna die because it's now delayed towards December. It's not that we're like, oh my god! No, we weren't waiting that bad for it.
God.
We're interested in it. That's the difference.
Good. Well, there we go. So one more story. It's really just a small story. Telltale's Back to the Future series could be heading to PS4 and Xbox One, apparently, to coincide with the 30th anniversary of the film. According to Amazon Canada, it's supposed to retail at the same time, which I think is October 13th, which, funnily enough, was the Rainbow Six original release date. So there you go. There's the real reason. They were scared of Back to the Future. Yeah, it was released 5 years ago, criminy, on PS3 and PC. And, of course, was the last... I think it was the last major episodic game Telltale did before The Walking Dead came and changed everything for them. It was a fairly decent game, fairly funny, but yeah, just a bit maddening in the puzzles. Did anyone else here play the Back to the Future game? Well, just answer. Go with the best way.
Yes,
No.
You did, Garri?
Yes, I did.
You did. How did you find it?
I didn't like it very much.
No, not in comparison, I would say, to the late stuff.
Telltale was doing really good with the Sam and Max games.
Yeah.
Those were awesome, and I think Back to the Future was kind of their first kind of licensed project that they did, and it just didn't work very well for them at all, you know. And then obviously they found success with Walking Dead, and you know we know the story after that. But no, Back to the Future, yeah, it wasn't the same. You know, it didn't feel like it had any connection to the movies, in my opinion. Like, I was not entertained by it at all.
I mean, there were cool little things in there that sort of riffed on some of the movie bits. I don't know, it was just like... And the guy who did the Michael J. Fox voice was actually quite good. It was the Michael J. Fox does turn up in a cameo, but not as Marty McFly. And
so weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, so...
It's like you're in the game, but you're not voicing the character you played in the movie.
Yeah, I can kind of understand it more now, but it's like the way he is. But yeah, so it kind of makes sense, I suppose, that Telltale just want to sort of bring up some of their older work and go, hey, you know, this is what we did before The Walking Dead. Probably not sure if that's a great idea if they start thinking of putting Jurassic Park in there.
No, see, we never got an episode 2 to Jurassic Park. That's how bad that one was.
That one was awful. But kind of holds out hope that the Sam and Max games might get a re-release. Just give them a chance.
Those games were fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, they were funny, they were entertaining. But yeah.
Yeah, less so with their... Monkey Island one, which was a bit hit and miss compared to the old Monkey Islands, but
I honestly think they should get like the Ghostbusters license and do Ghostbusters Telltale games.
I'm sure it'll happen. I'm sure next year that's lined up. Yeah, considering the films for next year, yeah, it'll be there.
And of course, like I said before, the X-Files will be perfect for them to do.
Yes.
It's just there is so many good options for them, but the problem is the longer they go out doing them means the longer in the tooth the formula gets as it is. So they really need to start changing stuff. I mean, as I was saying the other week, Life is Strange teaches a lot of lessons, Telltale, about what they could do going forward. And you kind of hope they learn some of those, but that does mean they'd have to change a lot.
I think them doing their own style. Like, if you look at The Walking Dead, they're doing it themselves. It's based in the world, but it's their story. Whereas if you look at like Game of Thrones, they have to follow a certain canon, so they're very restricted in that way.
They're certainly more tied in than they are in The Walking Dead, where there are mentions of characters and you do see them from the comics. But
I think things like that are kind of holding them back. That's why like the Game of Thrones hasn't been as well received as The Walking Dead.
No, which is a shame in a way, because it has got better as the series has gone on. But the more you've got invested in the characters. But yeah, at the beginning they are relying so heavily on, hey, look, it's that character and that character. It's like to try and get fans over with them. But then maybe it depends on the company you're dealing with. Where when you've got a licensing deal, that some will say, well, hey, you've got to feature our characters in it more prominently if you're going to have the license. So that. Whereas Robert Kirkman said before about The Walking Dead, he's quite happy to give them a bit more free reign to do what they wanted. He said they can use people from the universe, they can not. It's up to them. So they did a bit at the beginning, and they
can easily like kill off characters whenever they want.
Yeah,
you can't really do that in Game of Thrones because they're still alive on the TV show and the books.
No, but then that's why they went the whole route with a different family that are barely mentioned in the books and don't really have a fate decided. It's a good way of doing it, in the sense of you're fighting the power in your own way, but knowing you aren't really going to win. It's just your way of making sure that everyone doesn't end up dead by the end of it.
Yeah,
it's a different way of doing things, and I think you've played Tales from the Borderlands, haven't you, Ben? And that's a very different take on their sort of way of doing things. So there's a lot of negativity about they're doing the same old thing, but then nothing's really been that bad yet since Walking Dead. Been drops in form, but not. They're still quite tolerable, fairly enjoyable. It's like every time I get an episode of Game of Thrones so far, I've played through it there and then. No second playthrough, just done. And it's nice like that it still does it. Whereas I don't know, The Wolf Among Us was a bit more of a slog, and I had all the episodes there, and it was like I'll do half an hour here, half an hour there. So it's. I mean, the next thing they got...
Wolf Among Us is based on the Fables comic book from DC.
Which is just...
They have to kind of follow the canon in that, too. They're very restricted that way.
Yeah, that was my main concern with that one, was that Bigby was an established character and with an established pattern of behaviour. And it didn't really make sense to make him like overly aggressive in parts of that game, because it wasn't him. It's just... the character is quite reformed, even though he has a wild side. So it didn't make sense for him to be a dick to people.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else have any word on the idea of playing Back to the Future? I'm going to guess by that eerie silence that no is the answer to that one. And thus concludes the news. Now, we were supposed to do Banter with Bolt here. Are we still doing Banter with Bolt is the question. What do you reckon, guys? Can we just make up a question out of nowhere?
I think.
Question right now.
Oh, yeah, we can do it.
Yeah? Let's think of a question. Okay. On air. We'll do it live.
And if not, I'll just cut it out.
Well, that's a whole different thing. This also means that we don't have our usual theme music, then, I'd imagine. So, Ben, what can we do?
Well, you contacted me today, and you said, Ben, oh my god, we need a theme tune. So I thought, okay, what I'll do is I'll write the theme tune, I'll sing the theme tune. So, here we go. It's time to ask some questions. Do. Time to answer some things. Do. I'm looking at the Facebook, looking at the comments. I'll be so good for Banter and Revolt.
What the hell was that? Congratulations.
That was Kevin, you're fired.
Kudos to the man.
By the way, if you get the reference.
I do. Yes, totally. Oh dear. Now we've got a question.
I'm going to cut that one out and put it in front of every banter with Bolt from now on.
Yeah, that's it. I guess, Kevin, we don't really have much need for you anymore. You can go. So.
No.
Oh, okay. It's going to stay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I suppose we should think of a story.
I've got a question.
Yeah? Oh,
I've got an idea.
Go on.
What games would you mix the genres together to make another game?
Ooh.
Well, so you mean like mix two different games together of different genres?
It doesn't have to be two different games, but multiple games together to make a different game.
So like putting Resident Evil and Dino Crisis and making one game out of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, zombie dinosaurs!
Zombie dinosaurs is done. Wasn't that the third Dino Crisis, though? Just in space.
Damn it! We never talk about Dino Crisis 3. It
Doesn't exist.
Didn't exist to me, that's for sure. But
it was a fake fan-made game.
We remember.
That Capcom forgot to cancel.
I don't know, Ben. Do you have something in mind personally?
Well, no. I just thought of the question, so
I've done all the hard work.
He did his job.
Fine. How about Assassin's Creed meets
Goat Sim.
Goat Simulator meets Fighting Force?
Fighting Force.
What?
So what? You got to stealthily beat the hell out of people as a goat?
Yeah.
Good work.
That actually sounds like a really fun game. I would totally play that.
Or how about FIFA meets GTA, where after you finish your football match, you go into the crowd and have a bit of a fight.
That's just realism.
Like a game where you can play as a hooligan and start fights on the soccer thing.
Yeah, so that'd be Streets of Rage. FIFA.
If Rockstar didn't make that, it's just a missed opportunity. Straight away.
Well, they could be a new Manhunt game as well. Well, it could be that.
I think that'd be an awesome. I would totally buy that game. You just some random dude who goes to a football game and you start a fight and it turns into a huge riot.
I have a slight feeling it's a game that I'd rather wait for PS Plus to be free.
I sort of remember, just thinking off the top of my head, the game that was actually going like that was by Rockstar. It was a State of Emergency. It's just basically going around rioting.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. That was one of the early PS2 games.
Well, can we get a sequel to Marco's Magic Football as well?
Marco's Magic Football?
Don't you remember that?
No, I don't.
It was an amazing game. It was a footballing game, but it was a beat 'em up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was on the Mega Drive.
Oh, that's one of my ideas for my game development course out of the way.
Yeah, he had a magic football that would kill people when you kick them.
See, there was me thinking I imagined it. And there was me just plain old being a plagiarist. Yeah.
How about a new decap attack as well?
Yeah, that could work. But with beheaded characters from video games.
Yeah, there we go. DLC characters.
Now you're just adding new games from older games instead of creating games. You've changed the question.
No one else is bringing up names, so...
Well, I was going to.
Okay, go on now.
You were having so much fun. I was going to say, a romancing game like Hat of a Boyfriend mixed with Mass Effect. So you get all the romance stuff, but you romance pigeon versions of them all.
That's amazing. Then you can have Space Jesus Pigeon.
Yeah, Space Jesus Pigeon.
Yeah.
Be great.
And then instead of space magic where you got to pick red, blue and green, you've got a peacock at the end and you just point at the different feather colours.
This is just getting weird.
I would put Destiny together with a finished game.
Oh, bad. How about Destiny with Elder Scrolls? Because then it'll actually be open world.
Open world and just as empty, I'd imagine.
And still had no story.
But it'll have some story, but it won't make sense and it'll be in the wrong order. What else could they do? They could do Batman and anything, I suppose. Just make the Batman... they've done that.
Batman
That's
and
Warner
Tony
Brothers
Hawk's.
in general. Batman and Tony Hawk's.
I think we need a game with wacky races because Muttley's here.
Wacky races in GT.
Oh, man.
GTA 5 and wacky races. How about that?
GTA 5 wacky races. I'm sure there'll be a mod for that somewhere.
That would be good. That you can just make traps at the side of the road. That would be fun.
Yeah,
I think. It doesn't sound that fun anymore.
It did for a minute.
Yeah. No, for a few seconds, not even a minute.
What about you, Garri? Anything you can think of?
Wow. Oh, you guys did such a great job there. Mine is a little more simple. I would do like a classic horror movie fighting game where you play with like Jason and Michael Myers and Freddy. Just make a fighting game like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I could go with that. That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, Predator, Alien is there. Classic characters that everybody knows. Just turn it into a fighting game. I mean, you already did Predator, Jason, and Freddy. May as well go and make a new one with all those characters. That, or a Friday the 13th game mixed with The Witcher, where you play as Jason and you slaughter people while they're having sex in camp.
You know what? It's funny you mentioned- I've been watching all those films this week in preparation for Until Dawn.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah.
It always comes across now that Jason is the hero. It's just he is the original social justice warrior. He is he doesn't like drugs, sex, anything like that. Anyone who does anything naughty, doesn't matter how good they are, that's it. It's like so
there you go.
Your kids polluting my rivers with your dirty sex.
Yeah, and like the more you wait for them to start having sex, the more points you get for killing them, and then you level up and you become even more badass.
You know what? I've got it. There you go. It would be, a slasher game that's like Mario Sunshine, except opposite. So instead of trying to clean the world up, you just make it worse by killing everything, driving down tourism.
Why can't I just picture Mario with like a paintbrush going around graffitiing everything with like an evil stare with a slasher knife? Like a mix of the old Mario theme tune but with like the old slasher like song. You know how it goes.
I know it goes.
But with the Mario beeps instead.
Or a Chucky game. I totally take a Chucky game.
A Chucky game, mad.
From his point of view, running around.
Oh yeah, it could be like a little puzzler, couldn't it? Because you have to try and reach better heights to be able to kill people.
Yeah.
Like Among the Sleep. Kind of.
Yeah. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, that's quite right. Yeah. Among the Sleep's a PC game. You basically play as a child.
It's a PS4 game as well, I think.
No, it's not come out on PS4.
Oh, it hasn't come out yet on PS4. It was announced.
Like a lot of PC games. Yeah.
What about that toy soldiers? Wouldn't it be like that as well? Kind of, but with Chucky.
Yeah. Probably.
Well, Toy Soldiers is more of a tower defense game than anything.
Yeah, but they could just remove that part. I meant that sort of art style would be pretty good. I think.
But Chucky's super violent, and they have to get the voice actor back. The guy who does his voice, because nobody else can do that voice.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like the 2013 version of Chucky, because that was a horrible movie. The rest was good, but that was a horrible one. It was way too serious.
How about a walking simulator?
There's already walking simulators.
No, but I was going to say a walking simulator, but taking place in games where after everything has happened. So it's like you could go to the mansion in Resident Evil when it's just ruins, and you just walk around it going, "Oh, okay, something interesting must have happened here," and then that's it. It ends.
Well, we already have Janitor Simulator, so
yeah.
Shadow Warrior on PC. It came with like something called Visual Cleanup.
Yeah, you have to be the guy who cleans up all the messes.
Yeah, you got to clean all the messes from the battles.
You could be
something like that in the GTA world. You play like an insurance guy who has to like pay insurance for all the destruction caused by players in GTA.
God, you just want to quit after the day. You'd end up being the guy that just end up raging on everyone and blowing everyone up anyway. Because you just snap. You'd be like, it'd be like being a teenager again, where you just got to host a party and you're trying not to let them break your stuff, and it gets out of control, and you just end up going crazy and hitting people over the head with a lamp. As happens in all those situations, obviously. Dear. Yeah. Anyway,
I was actually thinking the first Bioshock, but more terrifying, like PT demo.
Oh my god,
that would be brilliant. I think because the atmosphere in Bioshock 1 is brilliant, but as much as I'm a fan, I think it would have been better if there was less shooting and everything, and more that kind of feeling of fright.
So kind of like we were saying about a walking simulator style game where you don't really have weapons and stuff.
No, that would be more like Amnesia: The Dark Descent, which was good as well, but after a while it gets repetitive. So I think it would be fun to have like moments where you have no weapons and moments where you do have weapons, but limited.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that is usually the best way of doing it.
And make it VR, and then people will have a heart attack while playing the game.
Well, that's going to happen anyway.
That is going to happen anyway. I totally agree with that.
It's just a matter of time before you read first person has heart attack with VR headset, and whatever brand it is going down. That's probably the
VR. That's what's going to cause it, and they're going to blame video games.
Yep.
Oh, so
80-year-old man dies from having a heart attack watching porn in VR.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of juice out of that then. Well done, Ben.
Yay.
Good.
Is that a joke towards the porn quote from Garri there? A lot of juice.
A lot of juice.
The shag juice.
You should have just let it go, Kevin.
Just let it
go. Get a grip, as they say in the porn industry.
Wow.
Let's go on to reviews, I suppose, then.
Thank you. Welcome to Porn Station Unchained.
Station.
Episode triple X.
There you go. I mean, you could expand on GTA's Hot Coffee and just have a rhythm action porn game. Yeah, you just got to get it in time, but you could use the camera. Just do the moves.
We're still getting.
This episode is not PG-13.
You have to use your imagination, so we'll get away with a lower rating. It's fine. Oh, let's move on to those reviews anyway, as we were saying. But yeah, good hustle, guys. Well done.
Good work, everyone.
Good work. I suppose we'll open with a game that we talked about at length last week because it was almost at review. And yeah, we've mentioned it once or twice already. Goats, as usual. Yeah, Goat Simulator, in fact. Which, of course, you must know is reviewed by Benjamin Shillabeer-Hall. Yeah. And you know what? He liked it. Surprise, surprise.
I know.
He said it's great fun, especially with friends. Goat Simulator is so out there and different to the norm that you can't help but have a good time and laugh along with it. He likes that the graphics are pretty sharp and pretty. Sorry. I was thinking the next line, thinking pretty hilarious. I was like, no, that makes sense. No, hilarious is the second good point. There's plenty to unlock and collect. But there's no Goat Z, no Goat MMO maps, no online multiplayer, and the frame rate seems to randomly drop. But isn't that not a feature?
It is pretty much a feature, but I had to find something to put in the dislike.
Not enough goats. You could have put not enough goats.
Well, there is so many goats. You can be a space goat, or a robot goat.
Tall goat.
Or a tall goat. Or a classy goat.
Devil goat.
Yeah. You give it 8 out of 10, Ben.
Yeah, 8 out of 10.
But 8 out of 10. Not the 10 out of 10 I was expecting.
No, because
you know,
then I think I might get told off by everyone.
Yeah, ethics in journalism and all that.
Yeah. I've already got the highest score on Metacritic for it. So.
Oh, okay.
Destructoid gave it a 3, I think. 3 out of 10.
Dear, oh dear.
That's because they took it as a serious game when even the developer says the bugs are in there because they're in there. Yeah. Like, he doesn't care that they're in there. It makes the game fun.
It is kind of the point. But then, yeah.
Tip, if you want an interesting time, put Rip Goat, Repulsive Goat, Devil Goat, Angel Goat, and Double Jump Goat on at the same time. press triangle and the game will freak out. If you press circle, the game will just go crazy.
Nice.
You'll literally just sort of stretch up across the whole screen and just fly off in random directions. It's amazing.
Good. So we know you enjoy it.
Yep.
Graciously, Ben got me a copy, and I quite enjoyed it as well. My son enjoyed it. He's laughing his head off at it, thinking it's hilarious because it's a goat smashing things up and falling over. It's not what's not to love for a 4-year-old boy. What about you other guys, Garri and Kevin? Any interest in the goats? Maybe not even just the game. Yeah.
I only played it when it first came out on PC.
Yeah.
I played a little bit. I never got super into it. It was fun, don't get me wrong, but it's one of those games where you just do whatever the hell you want and have fun doing that, which to me, I don't really have that much fun doing those types of things.
You like a bit more structured, sort of.
Yeah, like everybody has fun in GTA Online, like, oh, we can just go do whatever we want, and I don't find too much fun in doing all those things. Yeah,
but then I find most of the stuff in GTA Online is because you go to do something, and then something else happens as a result. So that's usually the best way of that one. But yeah, I can understand what you mean in that sense. It's probably not for everyone that wants to just have some sort of structure, which it has objectives and such, but it's not as fully structured as it could be, I suppose. But then it's the type of game it is. What about you, Kevin?
I kind of agree with Garri. I have played it as well on PC, still have it, but I just don't play it as much because, I don't know, it's fun for like 10 minutes, maybe 15, and then it gets kind of boring because it's the same kind of feeling all over again, randomness. And for some people that's really fun to keep going on with, but I don't know, I prefer to have some kind of difference in the game, and it didn't feel that fun to me. It was fun for a while, but eventually I got bored out of it. So
mixed opinions we have on Goat Simulator.
Dun dun dun.
It's definitely a Marmite game.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Which is fine. Ben likes Marmite in this case.
I just hope we get
GTA or Metal Gear Solid 5 then, because you can recruit a gold army in that game now.
I know, it's going to be amazing.
I don't know if you guys knew that. Like, you can capture ghosts with the balloon thing.
Yeah.
And you can train them to be soldiers. And
I'm going to have an army of goats.
Ben's entire mother base is going to be an army of goats.
I'm so looking forward to invading that base.
Oh no, I'm turning invasions off straight away.
Oh no, but we've got to come and invade your goat base.
I have 647 friends. 647 friends. If even about 20 or 30 of those people buy the game, I am never going to beat the first mission. Okay, let's go to Afghanistan. Okay. Oh, you've been invaded. Oh, 1 second.
Ben, you gotta trust your goat army, dude. Have you seen a real goat in real life? They can climb anything.
It's true.
I think they'll be okay.
It's going to be amazing, though. The goat army.
Yeah, among the many other amazing things, it's going to be amazing. Oh, so soon. It's
but wait there. You can have like a relationship with your army. Doesn't mean you have to go back to your base to pet the goats.
Yeah, yes you could. You could have like a bring your kids to work day for the soldiers to say they can come and pet the goats.
You got to bring food and pet the goats before you send them off to missions.
I don't even think Kojima's thought that far forward, to be honest. I know he likes his quirky stuff, but it's probably a little too far in terms of quirks.
Nano machines. Goat powered nano machines. There we go.
Nano machines. Oh yeah, I went there. Next review, anyway, is by me, funnily enough, and it's Zombi, which is of course the port of the Wii U game, Zombie U. I thought it was quite good. So I said it's a rather basic port instead of a revised version of an underrated gem it needed to be. Zombie still manages to hold up well for years on, thanks to the way it makes great use of its location, subject matter, and atmosphere to create an unnerving modern survival horror. I liked the dread-inducing atmosphere, the fact that it makes zombies feel like a threat, for once, and fine use of darkness environment to create tension. I didn't so much like they've taken away the online functionality. The visuals are still a bit underwhelming, and the combat gets a bit repetitive after time. I give it 7.5 out of 10, which is mainly because Dying Light I gave 8, and I feel it's a far better game in other respects. But I really wanted to give this 8 in a way. But as I said, it is such a bad port. Not bad even, just underwhelming. It's functional, it does the job. The game still plays brilliantly. But for me, it is like a classic survival horror in the way you have to manage your inventory, the death system. It's really, it's one of the games I'll probably have fun with way beyond reviewing it. And that's nice. But yeah, it just feels like they could have done more with it. The second screen stuff, not a problem. It's like that it's not there because you still had the tension. It's just you got a menu screen that comes up instead on screen, and you can't really see the whole thing. But yeah, it's the fact that it still looks a bit like the Wii version. I mean, almost barely any difference in a lot of ways. And they could have just done a bit more with it. It's a shame, but yeah, it's still recommendable at £15 over here, I think. So yeah, worth a pop. Kevin, any interest in Zombi?
I might go for it. I have a Wii U myself, tested out the demo. I know I should probably play it on Wii U instead, but I don't know. I don't use my Wii U as much. So maybe eventually I'll try it out. I kind of feel like this is one of those games that won't take too long to pop up onto PSN free, actually. Yeah, or PS Plus. I kind of feel like it wouldn't take that long, so maybe if it's free on there, I'll go have a run, see what it's like on PS4. It'll be interesting to see the differences between the Wii version, because I tested a demo on the Wii and it kind of played good, but some parts annoyed me, where you were a really slow hitter, for instance.
Yeah, well, that's still kind of there, but it feels a bit smoother on PS4 for some reason, whereas on the Wii, I don't know if it's the pad with the Wii, it just felt a bit more clunky. But yeah, it does feel a little bit smoother in the way you hit things. But it's very much like a Dark Souls game where you have to sort of time your hit right, because it's a long animation to do the hit, and if you miss it, you've just wasted valuable seconds that could end up killing you.
Yeah, that I have noticed in the demo.
Yeah, which is fine because that creates a lot of tension. That's the idea. It's like in a more realistic take on it, and you have to try and make every shot count, if you will. I mean, there's a later bit where you have some heavy artillery to use, and you're like, oh, this is cool, and then you suddenly realise there isn't that much of it, and there's probably far too many zombies for what you've got. And yeah, so the panic sets in when you start realising, well, I should have actually been saving those bullets. And it really works that well. It can contain guns and still feel quite intimidating when the zombies are coming after you. And yeah, it's just so long they've been fodder in games. I mean, Dying Light did it quite well for a while in that game, where they were actually quite unnerving to be around. You've got to sort of try and be quick getting into places so they don't just sneak up on you when you're on your own. But as soon as you were powered up, it started becoming, I'll just chop my way through this horde of them. It's like, even on New Game Plus, it's like your stuff's all so good at that point that you're turning them into shish kebabs before you know it. Yeah, great game, I find. As I said, you might try it. Garri, what about you?
I actually really enjoyed the game on the Wii U. I'm kind of sad the multiplayer function is gone because it was quite fun with multiplayer. But no, I really do like it. It was a very fresh take on the genre. I mean, it felt very survival horror to me.
Very
much.
To
survive. You die, you lose everything, and you start off as a new character.
Yeah, and you get that one chance to go and get that backpack back as well, which is cool when you start as a new character and you have to kill your zombified self to get it back. And if you fail, then it's gone forever. But again, it's one of those very Dark Souls-esque things of just where you can go and get your souls back from your last death if you're lucky. But yeah, it's a cool thing. And it's weird to think that Ubisoft are the ones here, adding a refreshing take on a tired thing. when they put out what they put out every year and use the same tower mechanic for nearly all their games. So, which even in this, there is a little bit of that. It's just not, there's the whole connecting the receivers so you can get the map unlocked, even in Zombi, which is mad. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It was a very, very fresh, very realistic take on the zombie apocalypse, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely agree.
I'm just sad that it is very underappreciated,
Yeah, and this is a chance where they could have had to sort of get it appreciated, because I think if they'd put a bit more effort in, it probably would have been quite well received, to be honest. As it is, people are moaning because the gamepad stuff isn't there and all that, and it's like, which is a bit unfair because I don't think it really affects that much.
Yeah, I mean, they could have easily done it with the Vita, as a second screen thing,
or a mobile. Yeah, it's like
So on that point, that's kind of their issue. Like they could have done it, but they chose not to.
Optional would have been nice.
Yeah,
because not everyone has a Vita, of course. So an optional second screen thing. There is the option on the Vita, but I've never seen any game use it actually. So it would have been nice to actually see that being used.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity. But then I said, this is probably mainly out because they want to recoup some money they lost on the Wii U. And it's the only way they're going to get doing it. So they've done the bare minimum they have to, which is obviously change things that you couldn't do on a PS4. Very easy without...
recoup the money they spent on making the sequel, which they haven't released.
Yeah, well, hopefully it does well enough. But they probably just nixed their own sequel now by releasing a bit this as it is, which as I say, is a very good game still. But people are just going to look at it and go, well. Especially when Dying Light's come out and it looks so good, and it's done quite well in the zombie genre again this year.
I've just never seen a company make an entire game and then refuse to release it because the console hasn't sold as many units as you wanted it to sell.
Yeah.
You just wasted all that money making the game, and you have made zero profit on making that game because you refused to release it.
I think we'll see it at some point. It may not be the big game it was going to be, but I think it will come out in some shape or form in time. Yeah. And Ben, I believe. Is that it? Anyone left?
Did Kevin talk? Oh.
Yeah, Kevin talked.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Words.
Words and sentences.
Some speech. I bought a Zombie. I've only played a little bit of it. I'm going to Buckingham.
Yeah.
But so far I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, good. Glad to hear.
But I've not found the zombies too much of a threat yet.
No, it starts building up a bit.
I just run around with my British sticker baseball bat and go and smack them over the head.
Yeah, it's good fun in that sense, but it's getting them. It's if you start missing hits and stuff overwhelms you a bit, that's when it starts getting crazy. You're not far from a moment like that where you just think, "Oh, this hasn't been too bad." And then
well, I have about 70 bullets on me, so
yeah, they can go very quick. Believe me,
I've been stocking them up.
Yeah, I did the same, and I think in a sequence not long after that, I pretty much wasted a lot without meaning to. It gives you little moments like that. It's quite cool. But yeah, as I said, it's not so challenging as something like Dark Souls, where you are just going to get brutally destroyed every time you do anything. But it is just it makes you cautious about being a bit too cocky. Yeah. Right. I think then we should move on to the next review, which I suppose we don't have much to say about. It's Pure Hold'em, which is, of course, about card games. This was reviewed by Simon Sayers. He said, a stunning recreation of the world's most popular poker game, Pure Hold'em captures the spirit of the big tournaments with slick presentation, an intuitive interface, and great multiplayer options. He said it looks fantastic with sweet extra options to customize the games, lots of online tournaments, and the ability to set up private games, smooth, intuitive interface, as he said, lets the cards do the talking. He didn't like the microtransactions and that you can't see your folded cards. He gave it 8.5 out of 10. quite surprisingly. I really don't care for card games personally in real life, even just find them annoying and pointless. So 8.5 could be the greatest card game ever, but I'm not going to like it. But what about you, Garri? Are you a fan of card games?
I am a fan of card games, but I don't play them like at casinos or anything like that because I know I'm going to lose all the time. But it does look fantastic, like graphically. Like,
yeah, it really does.
If you fail to make this game look good, then you fail at making video games.
It's like that pure chess game. It's just like.
But yeah, I mean, obviously people will buy this game who are really into that. I mean,
oh yeah, definitely.
People will probably find some ways to spend real money and gamble that way, but no, it could be a fun tournament game if people had tournaments. But yeah, I don't know if it has any like couch co-op or couch, multiplayer where like 4 people can sit in the same room and play it, but it'd be cool if it did.
It seems to be online based.
Would it be too easy to kind of cheat?
Yeah, I was going to say that'd probably be the problem with that.
This is why you punch your friends in the face, and then you look at the cards as they're moaning and groaning.
Dear. So let's go to Ben. About you, are you a card carrying fool?
No, it's not.
Unless
it's a Yu-Gi-Oh's, then yeah.
What about you, Kevin?
No.
No, there you go. Simple as that. That's more than I thought we'd have to say on it, to be honest. So that's we've taken
short but powerful.
Short but powerful. Final review is by good old JP, John Paul Jones. He's reviewed Toy Soldiers War Chest. He said it's an entertaining, substantial, if simplistic take on the tower defense genre. Toy Soldiers War Chest thrills are prominent, yet a little dulled by some technical issues and needlessly greedy pricing model. He likes its easily accessible strategy laced with entertaining action elements, a substantial amount of longevity. Hero units are a lot of fun to play as. He didn't like the frequent slowdown during busy scenes, overbearing pricing model, and too simplistic for tower defense veterans. Give it 7 out of 10. Yeah, the monetization does sound a bit over the top in the game. Strangely enough, in a game about toys, it's trying to prize every last penny out of you by the look of it. And I don't know, I'm a bit bored of tower defense games of any kind at this stage. How about you guys? Kevin, do you like tower defense games?
Not my thing.
Not your thing at all? Not even if you can play as He-Man?
No.
There you go. Ben, what about you? Ben's died. There you go. So he clearly doesn't like it.
I like how everybody just dies when they don't answer.
That's the only excuse.
But why was I never alive to begin with?
Yeah, we did say you might be on a different plane of existence, so it's possible.
But yeah, I must be. I'm tempted. He looks good. I was looking at it earlier today, thinking about buying it.
Is that because it's got lots of monetization in the game?
Yeah, He-Man, and it has the Ezio from Assassin's Creed.
The Ezio from the Ezio, that famous rapper from the old Florence series.
Ezio Auditore.
I like the smack of the beaches.
So yeah, I was tempted because of Ezio and because of He-Man's and the G.I. Joes. Does look good.
Does it good?
But it's always fun to play as Ezio.
Is it? Yes, but there's a whole game series that has that. So.
Yeah, but you can't play a tower defense game with him.
No, well, there is actually a tower defense in one of
you
those.
You search a load of towers.
You capture them, you don't defend them, though.
In fact, that is actually probably one of the best bits of marketing I've never thought about. It's a tower defense game with the king of towers. Mad. Garri, what about you? What are your feelings on this?
I was actually really looking forward to this game. I was reading into it a lot, and then I saw the prices on PSN, and I was like, wow, screw you, I'm not buying this game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not even for Ezio?
Everything you want in that game costs money. Like, everything. Every unit, every character. It's like, really? Like, why don't you just release it as a free-to-play game and then sell it that way? But no, I have to buy it for $60 and then spend another $150 to get all the characters.
It's not 60, it's like £11.50, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a budget game.
I say,
Are you on the right
can't-
PSN page?
It sure can't be a full price game.
Either way, I still have to buy
It will be a full price game by the time you buy everything, though.
Yeah.
Everything that I'm going to buy in that game pretty much equals out a full price game. So
Yeah. This goes back to what we were saying earlier. It's like taking a game and then cutting out into chunks, saying, "Oh, look, it's cheap," but then there's this other stuff you could get. You might not need it, but everyone else will have it.
yeah,
And-
I mean, this is like the only game where you can play as He-Man ever.
And yeah,
And you can be as Easios.
the Ezio and the Auditories. Yeah,
You know, like, it has a whole lot of potential, but the price model is a no-no.
I would agree on that one. It's a shocking price model.
Hell.
It's,
While we're talking about this, I just spent money on Warframe. So
did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Why do you exist then?
I think there was one more thing to mention at the end of this that was no, that was it actually. I was about to say. I was looking at it thinking, no, I can't mention that. No, I can't mention that. So embargoes, people, embargoes. I will not.
We had to mention there was no mention.
there's
Yeah,
there's nothing.
just to tell you, there's some stuff we can't tell you.
no-
Just a little PSU teaser.
It's not even a good thing. Sorry. But yeah, that pretty much sorts us out for reviews. So we are on to that final part of the show, which is what games have you been playing? Now, I think we'll start with someone else so I can rest my weary voice. So, Kevin, you don't play
Hello,
much.
Neil!
So what do you actually play this week?
Well, let's not forget, most importantly, probably for you guys, what has been recommended by me. No, not by me. To
Goat
me.
Simulator. Goat Stimulator.
Yeah. Goat Stimulator? What? No, but as recommended by, the Bolt and the Beautiful, so by Bolt, Neil Bolt and Mike. Resident Evil 1. Yeah, I bought it last time during the podcast. Well, at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
I haven't completely played loads on it, but I've played on it for a while, and I am tempted to go back because it's actually really good. It's something to get used to because it's an older game, and mostly the thing that bothers me are tank controls because I'm not used to that at all. So the amount of times I've ran into a zombie unwillingly is killing me. Literally, actually. So, but yeah, definitely a game worth playing, and I'm looking forward to continuing. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out the rest of the games in the series as well, because I have never actually played one of the newer Resident Evil games either. So those are on the future list.
Good. Anything else?
I finished Sound Shapes.
Yeah, how'd you find it?
Which is enjoyable until you get to the death challenges, and then you pretty much rage your ass off. It's a really relaxing game, and then you get these death challenges, and the relaxation is gone within a second.
Beautiful.
They are too much death.
Too much death.
But yeah, now that's finished, I'll probably kind of put that aside and try to find more stuff to get into. I've also been playing Borderlands pre-sequel a bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm playing together with my friend still, and we're kind of pushing towards getting this done as fast as possible, mostly because it feels so slow. I know that it's probably the space theming and stuff that you it kind of exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, the slower movements and stuff in a way kind of affect this, but it doesn't feel as interesting as Borderlands 2 either.
No.
Where Borderlands 2, we really were like, let's play Borderlands 2. We're gonna have lots of fun. We'll play loads of hours on it at once. This was one of those games that we really felt like we gotta push through at least to see the storyline.
See, I actually prefer the storyline in the pre-sequel to Borderlands 2. I hate the gameplay, but I like Jack as a character.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's still good stuff. It's just not as fresh when, Borderlands 2 had Butt Stallion and all the great references in there in the beginning.
This week's Tales from Borderlands was amazing.
Yeah, I've heard it's still going strong, so it's good. Yeah, it's a thing with the series that actually it does have quite good writing, to be honest, in general. The jokes are funny as well. So,
honestly, I thought Borderlands pre-sequel is less funnier than Borderlands 2. In Borderlands 2, we often had moments where we really enjoyed it and we felt like it was funny, but in this game, when there is a joke, we notice it, but it's like, it kind of feels like we already heard it too much.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of because it's the same humor throughout the game series over and over again. But yeah, we're trying to push through to get the storyline done, and then probably we'll move back to Borderlands 2 and play that again.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So was that the entirety of your gameplay this week?
I'm thinking. I tried the Black Ops beta, the Black Ops 3 beta, twice. Didn't happen. First time waited 15 minutes, didn't get into a game. Kept searching for games that weren't there apparently. And the second time it just showed me the boot logo for like 10-15 minutes. So that's uninstalled. I didn't expect anything better though.
No.
It's still better than actually playing it. But yeah, next thing, I don't know. What else have I played? That's actually a good question. Kind of forgot.
That's a good lot of games, all the same. That's it. So maybe we'll move it on. Yeah?
Yeah, just move on.
Move on. So, you've said enough. It's fine.
Damn you!
Ben, what about you? You been playing anything juicy this week?
Well, I got my platinum on the Goat Stimulator.
Yep.
All
you had to do for that was not to be spoken of, I hear. So.
That annoying Flappy Goat was the most painful one.
Oh god, yeah, that's awful.
Get 10 points in Flappy Goat.
I've managed 6 so far.
Yeah, that's the only trophy that took any time. Apart from that, I've been playing Fantasy 14 a lot. I've got my gear to 190 now. So...
Rub it in, Ben. Rub it in.
I beat, hard mode today. Hacker Manor hard mode on my own. That was interesting. And I did Hydra. You know the Hydra fight, Garri, for your relic weapon?
Yeah.
I did it with 2 other people. That was fun.
Rub it in, Ben. Just keep rubbing it in. That's cool.
Apart from that... that Commander Cherry's... What's it called?
Cherry, man.
The game that won't recognise you.
Yeah, Commander Cherry's Puzzle Journey. I finally beat level 1. I'm supposed to be reviewing this for PSU.com, and it might take me a bit... I hate making games take this long to review, but... I have to have the sun out, the light on, and I have to somehow exist for it to work. And I have to be naked.
What?
That's an important detail right there. The question is, Ben, is that a plus point or is that a negative point for your review?
It would be quite liberating.
I'm not joking. Well, not naked, but anything dark, it will not pick up. So, as 90% of my t-shirts are dark, that's pretty much screws it up. I found a t-shirt that works with it now, and my jeans are black, so my legs don't exist.
So this is one hell of an explicit podcast.
I have to play this game in boxer shorts. Because otherwise I don't exist. And that's even dedication.
Man, you gotta record yourself playing this game now.
And I have to keep the window open, and I'm facing the main road.
You have to Twitch this game now. You have to Twitch it.
Yeah, go on. If I'm not allowed to write swear words in reviews, he's not allowed to go naked on the videos.
So yeah, this is how much dedication I am putting into trying to get this game to work.
Get like Captain Raspberry. It sounds like you're making a porno over there.
Just wonder what the people who pass by think when they see Ben in his underwear standing in front of a TV, waving his arms and stuff around.
All the blinds open so the
It's like, you're too far away from the camera. Move closer. You're too close to the camera. Move further away. It's like you have to use your body as platforms and to hit buttons.
You're making it worse.
I finished the last level by having my leg across the room, my arse up in the air, so I could have the character jump on my arse.
We want a video review of this, Ben. That's video review material.
So yeah, I had the character jump on my arse to get to the end.
Lemmy wings.
And that was just one puzzle.
That sounds like a very explicit sequel to Terror.
Oh, you have to record a video of yourself playing this game.
What's worse is creepier is the mascot for the game is a naked man in a yellow banana thong thing.
Wait, what?
With a tattoo on his left chest that looks a bit like a you know what, and it's a cherry with a mustache on it.
Sorry, what's this game called?
Commander Cherry's Puzzle Journey.
I'm gonna have to Google this.
It's out now on PSN.
Commander Cherry.
We're doing it right now.
I found it.
Puzzled Journey.
Yeah.
Why do I see Ben playing?
You know what? Literally where the first picture I got is of someone naked.
I told you. See, the only way to get to work.
Oh, there's someone who's in a morph suit and a horse head.
Oh my god, you can play this game co-op, Ben.
Expect a co-op video soon on YouTube. Ben and Garri naked together playing Commander Cherry's Puzzle Journey with their asses up in the air to get platforms into the game.
Oh my god.
I might have to cut this part out of the podcast just to keep it, PG-21.
I wouldn't worry about it. I really wouldn't.
Because we're discussing a game.
Yeah, it's relevant.
It's an actual thing you have to do, so.
I'm not going to reply.
It just makes it worse because it's called Commander Cherry.
Christ,
doesn't make better, indeed.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay. Is there anything else, Ben, that doesn't involve this?
Oh, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Any good? Did you get in?
I got in the first try.
There you go.
I played a match. I died 10 times.
And you uninstalled it?
No, it's still here.
Fair enough.
I got 7 kills.
7 whole kills.
7 kills. Which isn't too bad because I joined halfway through the match, so. So yeah, it was. I didn't have any issues loading it up and playing it, so maybe it just liked me. Maybe it thought after having to play Commander Cherry for a week, it thought, you know what, let's not annoy him anymore. I can't believe after a week I'm only on level 2.
I don't know what's worse.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Playing in the very loosest sense of the words.
This week.
Okay. That's fine. Garri, have you been playing any weird naked contortion games? Or is it strictly the regular thing for you?
I've been playing Just Dance naked. Otherwise, you can't recognize me.
Just see what happens when I play Rock Band with a baguette.
See, that'd screw me up because I'd be eating the baguette.
Oh, man. Wow.
I'm like, drum, bite, drum, bite.
Yeah, well, the baguette's only for modesty purposes. You know,
Yeah.
Games these days.
I've been playing some Final Fantasy XIV. Ben has helped me out with some of the missions there.
Yeah.
It's been quite fun, quite endearing, or not endearing. I don't even know which word I'm looking for at this point. But yeah, no, it's been fun just doing the expansion pack stuff. I've also been playing the DBZ card game, actually. Kind of getting into that with my friend. They're re-releasing a lot of them now since DBZ's popular again. So that's been fun.
I've still got some of the old cards.
Yeah, they still work with the new rules too,
Oh,
so
well.
which is pretty cool.
I had to spend a lot of money to import them from America.
That sucks. They don't sell anything in Europe, do they?
At least we're getting the Blu-ray release of Dragon Ball Z Kai soon.
Oh.
I think it's come out at last. Season 1 has finally come out on Blu-ray.
Wow, that season's been out for like 10 years in North America.
Yeah, but it's still faster than the fact that we didn't get the first ever DVD set of Dragon Ball Z 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago, yeah.
Wow.
That was the first
How?
time it ever got released on DVD.
In the modern age, that shouldn't be a thing. Really shouldn't.
No, that came out in like 96 in North America, too.
I know. I remember watching it on TV in, 1998, 99?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. We never actually got a VHS release either here, officially. This is the first... In 2012 was the first time it officially got sold in the UK.
yeah. I can't remember what channel used to do it over here. Was it Toonami?
Cartoon Network Toonami.
I know, yeah. Back in the day. And
That was so annoying because you were like, oh my god, the next season's starting. Oh my god. And then it will just repeat the first season.
But they went through like a whole loop, but they'd show like a few episodes and they get to a certain point and then they start again. And you're like, what happened to the next bit? So it's bad enough you stretch it out. So you like show like one a week or one every a couple of days, and then of course, being Dragon Ball Z, it's like, let's take 20 minutes to get to the point, and it's not even the point we were getting to in the first place. It's
Then it's on to the next episode.
it's like it's like the anime equivalent of watching a mobile battery go up. It's like, it's charged 2% more in this episode. It's like they might get to 100 by next week.
Oh, I can confirm that Dragon Ball Kai Season 2 will be released 28th of September.
Hmm.
And Kai sucks, too. I feel bad for you. you get the crappy version of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
There you go. Informative Dragon Ball Z talks.
Yes.
Anything else then, Garri? Any other
yeah. I'm playing a lot of a game called Skyforge on my PC.
Oh, yeah.
It's an MMO. I don't know if you guys heard of it.
I've heard the name.
The name rings bells. I'm gonna Google it quickly.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous looking game.
Is it a free to play? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's free to play right now. I haven't found any reason to spend any money on that game at all. I don't
Register.
So, but yeah, that game is super fun. Really enjoying that game. I'm unfortunately playing a tank right now until I can unlock a good DPS class.
It's an Obsidian published game as well, I see.
Yes, they helped work on it as well. Yeah, it's great. You play as like some immortal dude who obviously can die in the game, but the moment you die, you can just respawn right away. There's no penalty for dying in the game, but the whole point of the game is to become a god, and that's like the final skill you get in the game, and then you activate it and like you just do insane, crazy crap like a god would do. Become like invincible and just destroy everything. But yeah, it's super fun. If you guys ever get a chance to play it, I highly recommend it.
I'm installing it now.
I'm putting it on the list.
Nice. There's only 3 classes right now, but you have to unlock all the other ones. There's like 16 classes I think you can have. But you only get 1 healer, 1 tank, and 1 DPS right now. But then, as you progress through, you can unlock other classes too. I've also been playing, one of the games is going to be that you can vote for on PS Plus, actually. I'm playing this on Steam. It's called Armello.
Oh, yeah.
You guys should totally vote for this game because it's amazing. It's like a deck building game, but with real-time strategy elements.
All right.
It's fantastic. It's one of the best indie games I've played this year, and it's a shame that it's probably not going to win the vote thing, and people will have to pay probably $20. It's $20 on Steam, so I'm assuming that's what it's.
Well, they'll get a discount anyway. So for Plus.
Yeah, anything that doesn't win gets a discount automatically.
Yeah, so I do recommend people buy it if it doesn't win because it is fantastic. Yeah, and it was a Kickstarter game too, and it's been a pretty successful one. What else have I been playing? I tried to play Witcher 3, and then my save was gone, so I rage quit. I downloaded the Triple Triad card game on my phone, the Final Fantasy one.
Oh, yeah.
And then I deleted it almost instantly because I can only play like 5 matches, technically, before I have to wait half an hour for my stamina to regenerate. Ben will tell you that. Oh, it's pretty bad.
I've been playing it still, but it is stupid.
Yeah, it's really terrible how long you have to wait to play that game.
Half an hour per match. Which, when a match will last, what, a minute?
If you're lucky.
Huh.
So yeah, I deleted that right away. I have also been playing Magic 2015 on my phone as well. Magic Duels, I think it's called, which is the Planeswalker game. Just on the phones. That's been a lot of fun too. Haven't really found a reason to spend money on it yet, which is a good thing all the time. But other than that, I've actually gone back and started playing Bloodborne with my friend since we can do co-op whenever we want now.
Oh, cool.
It scales your character now. So like if he's like level 70 and I'm level 10, it'll scale my character up to his level. And everything should be even for both of us at that point. And vice versa. If he joins my game, he'll be scaled back down to level 10. But yeah, that's been super fun. I really love that game. I can't wait for that expansion that was confirmed to be in development, but no news has come out yet what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wonderful.
And Smash Brothers, but
of course, yeah.
I try to avoid online Smash Brothers because you just get your ass kicked instantly. Like there's no point going online in Smash Brothers unless you're like a professional tournament player because you'll just lose right away.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. I suppose that just leaves me, and well, I played a bit Goat Simulator as well, which I mentioned earlier. Obviously, I played Zombi. Weekly Minecraft update. I still haven't told my son that all the wolves he's got are dead, so I've just said they're at a different house. It's great. Good experience in telling him when pets die in later life. Beyond that, I played a bit Peggle 2. It's fun. It's Peggle. I'm playing Volume for review. Finally got a PS4 code for that after much shenanigans.
But do you have to be naked to play it?
Thankfully not. It's quite good. I've had high hopes for it anyway. I've been following the progress of this game since its inception. It is basically like Metal Gear Solid VR missions, if you will, mixed with Robin Hood folklore. And yeah, good voice cast. Danny Wallace, who obviously done Thomas Was Alone and some of the Assassin's Creed games. Jim Sterling has a cameo in there.
I didn't know I was in there.
yeah, he's a Friar Tuck-esque character. And Andy Serkis.
That's amazing.
Andy Serkis is in there as the main villain.
What game is this?
Volume.
Andy Serkis is the best, man.
Yeah, he plays Guy Gisborne, who's basically Guy of Gisborne from the Robin Hood. Yeah, he's in it. it's kind of cool. I have to say, the stealth is non-violent, so it's basically avoidance rather than confronting. So it has that difference from Metal Gear, but it is very much influenced by the early Metal Gear sort of stuff. And people already in the editor, where you can make your own, little trial maps, have already made representations of most of Metal Gear Solid 1, such as the helipad and the beginning bit of Shadow Moses. It's quite thrilling to sort of just about the thing, the cone of vision of the guards and using all the little gadgets, and it builds quite nicely. I had trouble playing it on Steam beforehand, because while we're waiting for PS4 codes, they give us a Steam code. And I don't know, it just didn't feel quite as responsive or intuitive. But still not got the review score up for it, but it's past embargo date, so I can talk about that. It's fine. I've really got to play more, I think, before I can have any solid opinion on it. But it's currently going along what I hoped. It's a nice little stealth teaser for coming up to Metal Gear, I think. But have I played anything beyond that? I've barely come back to Fallout Shelter since last week, because mobile games, they never have a very long shelf life for me as it is. And I'm already sort of at that stage of, I'll check in once a day. Yeah, nothing's happening. Okay. Off I go.
I mostly check in just to get the bonuses, and then I buy stuff, and then I stay away again. It's kind of what I'm doing with the Dragon Ball game right now, the mobile one.
Yeah.
I just go in, collect stuff so I can get better characters, because right now my characters are good, but they're not great, and I want the great characters.
I've got that game as well. It's good fun. Dokkan Battle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only other thing, of course, is PES 2016 demo, which I'm still playing to just learn the next PES. But I always play PES, so it's nothing unusual there. I did play a bit with No More Room in Hell, which is a source mod on Steam.
That's a fun game.
It is, yeah, and it was because of Zombi that I played it again. It was because bits of Zombi remind me very much of No More Room in Hell. It's just obviously on a multiplayer level, so it's a game I like going back to. It's quite fun. Yeah, that pretty much wraps me up for the week as well. So we're done, guys. It's all over. Another epic of a podcast is done and dusted.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, see you later. So I suppose we'll do the old deets. Now, details, of course, will be in the description of the podcast from wherever you have downloaded it from, as Kevin has quite kindly done that for us. But in case you are only able to listen to such things, and even then, these details will be useless to you, you could always contact us on the following details. For me, for instance, you could find me at neil.bolt@psu.com for the email. On Twitter, you could find me at Nezko, which is Nezzko, or on PSN, sonofvenom, all one word, all lowercase, where if you try and invade my mother base in a few weeks' time, I will hurt you. I promise you that. But then I will ask Kevin, as you are the one who sorts the deets, maybe you'd like to tell people your deets.
My deets.
Stop saying deets.
Indeed. Well, if people want, they can add me on PSN, which is KipKebab92, which is still a stupid name. Please, Sony, make it a change, please. They can find me on Twitter as Mr. Wax Weasel, which is wax with, like wax. Yeah. Weasel as, ZLE at the end. You can find me on the forums as Wax Weasel. Where else? Let me see. I live in Belgium. No. My PSU mail, which is kevin.rombouts@psu.com. Rombouts with OU.
Not rowboats.
And I think that's kind of it.
Fantastic. Ben?
Not really.
It really is. Shush. Fine. It's fantastic. Don't put yourself down. Come on. Ben.
Okay, you can
You're all out of goats. So yeah,
you can stalk me at ben.shillabeer-hall@psu.com, Chille_you account Twitter, Chille on Neogaf, Chille on PSU, and Chille on PSN. That's CHILLE. I currently have, let's have a look, 634 friends. So more friends, please. Oh look, more friend requests. I'll go accept those. That's how you can contact me. Oh, and
Ben needs more slaughter for his goats.
Also,
for his goat army, as
Hey.
you try to feed him.
hey Thomas Gargan, hey Thomas Gargan. Big shout out to my wife as well, if you're listening, which you probably are.
There you go.
So hello.
I don't know. After this week, she may not listen again. You might have got her a bit hot and bothered with all that talk. So that leaves Garri. When the KGB aren't watching, you might want to tell people your details.
My details. You can reach me at Gaglaush on Twitter. That's GAGLAUSH, and Gaglaush on anything else that you can think of. That's going to be my name if I play that. Or you can reach me on my PSU email at Garri. That's GARRI at PSU.com.
Phantasmadoogle. See, making up words now.
Phantasmadoogle.
Yeah.
That's a quote from Net for Speed Rooney.
Wow.
I was just like thinking, I can't say fantastic again. So I must make a different word. And halfway through, I realized I was still saying fantastic. So I thought, oh, I'll change it. So I made a new word. There you go.
A premiere for PSU Unchained.
Yeah, there you go. We make new words. Word. We will be back very soon from this podcast with a Metal Gear Solid special, which Garri will be on, as well as myself, and a few other people who haven't been on a podcast in a while, including Tim Nunes. Who else is on? Kyle Prowl is going to be on, I believe. So,
Hopefully, yeah.
And Ernest Lynn as well. So,
And
Ben. Yeah, we know you're on it, Ben. You're on every podcast.
Hey, if you don't want me on, I can give it a miss.
No, you can come on.
Yeah, I have to be on because otherwise, who's going to record it?
Yeah, and Apocalypse. You know. So yeah,
I'll be here on the podcast one week that I don't even know what we're talking about. I just sat here nodding as you talk about a game that I've never played before.
Hopefully Mike will be back next week. We may have forgotten to mention that, of course, he's in Amsterdam this week.
He's probably high with some hookers right now.
And goats. There's probably a specialist room in one of those Amsterdam shops that has that game that you were playing.
Yeah, Mike's going nuts with making platforms from his ass.
With the hooker, he's playing co-op.
He's playing with his Captain Cherry or Commander Cherry, whatever it was.
Oh, dear. So
It's getting worse.
I think on that
note,
note,
not hear from us next week, everybody.
Yeah,
if we're banned,
yeah,
we all get fired.
yeah, that'll be why. But it's all good. So I think that's a good note to end it on. Talk of Mike's debauched motion control games in Amsterdam. That may well be the episode title this week. We'll go with that. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'm not going to do the absolute farewell because that always belongs to Ben. So Ben, take us away.
You know what? I'm going to take something off the fly. I think, you know what? Because of all the comedy and all the stuff we've had today, I think we're going to use the thing from earlier to end the thing. So, this is off the head. It's time to end the show. Do. We've had some chatting and stuff. Do. I hope you enjoyed the show. Listen to another cast. Oh, and thank God for me. 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 Oh, and thank God for me.